Hi, Chris O'Connell here. I teach Matt Kuchar. We have been working together since 2006, and due to his recent good play in the FedEx Cup and his recent win at the Turning Stone Resort Championship, there have been a lot of requests on our forum to do some analysis on his golf swing, and if you were watching the telecast, there was a lot of comments on about how flat Matt Kuchar's swing is. I am going to do a two-part analysis. First part is going to be why people see Matt Kuchar's swing, or even a one-plane swing, as flat, and why I do not. And then part two is going to deal with just analysis of the things Matt and I have been working on in the past year or so. I certainly understand why people view Matt's swing and one-plane swings as flat. And the main reason I think that is most people, when they're looking at a golf swing, are focused on the arms and the golf club. They're not looking at the body. Matt on the left here is a one-plane swing. Bernard Langer on the right is a two-plane swing. And what do I mean by that? One-plane swing swings his arms around his body and up onto roughly the same plane that his shoulders turn on. His lead arm, which in this case would be his left arm, is at 35.4 degrees, and the shoulders are turning at 34 degrees. That would be roughly the same plane. I would say anything within, say, 12 degrees would be considered one plane. Anything more than that, then you start getting a little bit in between. A hybrid, a two-planer, will swing his arm onto a decidedly more upright plane, where Bernard Langer does over here, turning his shoulders at 20.1 degrees. The left arm is up at 50 degrees. He has swung his arms, kept them in front of his body, and swung his arms up and onto a more upright plane than his shoulders turn. That would be a two-plane golf swing. The two-planer gets the around part of his plane with his body turn, and gets the up and down part of his plane with his arms. A plane is half up and down and half around. So Bernard over here on the right, if he were to get body turn without the arms working upward, that would produce a very flat swing. If he were to get the arms working upward without the body turn, that would produce a very upright swing. The two-planer is always trying to blend those two elements of turning the body around at the same rate that the arms work upward. You can see that Matt Kuchar has 14 degrees more shoulder angle than Bernard Langer. Interestingly enough, he has about 16 degrees of a flatter arm position. 14 degrees. So it's roughly dead even. 14 degrees steeper shoulder angle, and he's got, just call that 36, he's got 14 degrees flatter left arm position. So you can see how he's got more shoulder angle, but he's got flatter arms. But most people view one-plane swings as flat because they're focused on the arms and club. If you were to cut off the arms on both Matt and Bernard Langer, you could easily say that Bernard Langer has a flat swing. If you were just looking at the body's turning at 20 degrees. Matt on the left side is turning at 34 degrees. Now some of that has to do with he's very tall, so he bends over more. His shoulders turn on a steeper angle. Another reason people view Matt's swing as very flat is he's got very, very long arms, which puts his hands and golf club way behind his right shoulder, whereas Bernard Langer has his hands virtually on top of his right shoulder. Third reason that people see Matt's swing as very flat is his left arm is underneath his shoulder plane. It's on parallel plane, but it is underneath that shoulder plane. And the shoulders, because they're turning so steep, make the left arm look flatter than it is. If Matt had a level shoulder turn, then the left arm would cover his right shoulder. But because he's bent over and the shoulders are turning so steep, you can see the right shoulder appearing above his left arm, which makes the swing look very flat. Now I've got two other golf swings that I want to share with you. These are great one-plane golf swings, but I'm going to show you that their left arm position actually ends up being in a flatter place than Matt Kuchar's does. This is Zach Johnson, major champion with a fabulous one-plane golf swing. If I draw some lines on Zach, I'm going to, let's see, about right there. His left arm position is at 24.6, and the shoulder angle going to be about right there, 17.6. So he's within 7 degrees. That's close enough for me. Anything I think 12 degrees and less is, obviously Zach has not swung his left arm up and onto a decidedly different plane. So that's why we're calling Zach a one-planer. But Zach's left arm is at 24.6, so he's nearly 11 degrees flatter left arm than Matt Kuchar. But because he's not bent over so much, and because the shoulders aren't turning so steep, you don't see the right shoulder appearing above the arm, and now the left arm doesn't look so flat. Zach's is actually a little bit flatter. His shoulder turn is at 17.6, so he's got about half the shoulder angle that Matt Kuchar does. Now, a lot of that has to do with just Zach's probably in the 5'10" range. Matt Kuchar's 6'4". He's bent over more at address. Also, Zach's hitting the driver, and driver's teed up a little bit longer golf club, which makes the swing a little bit more rounded. Another one-plane swing, great one-plane swing on tour, is Jonathan Bird. Let's go ahead and take a look at Jonathan here, and we'll draw some lines on him as well. Obviously, the top of his swing, his left arm is in roughly the same plane that his shoulders turn in. Again, that's the definition of a one-plane swing. The arms swing around and up onto roughly the same plane that the shoulders turn on. If I were to draw on his left arm, 30.2, so he is about 5.2 degrees flatter than Matt. See what his shoulder angle is. .3, so he is at, what is that? That would be just under 11 degrees. He's obviously has not swung like Zach, has not swung his left arm up and onto a decidedly different plane. 10 degrees, this is 11 degrees, anything 12 degrees or under. But his left arm position is flatter and his shoulder turn is flatter. I don't view a golf swing as flat unless the arms are flat and the body's flat. Now we're in trouble because now we've got an airplane circling the field that won't land. We've got a golf swing with all around and nothing up and down. The ball's down on the ground. There's got to be something pointed down at the ground, and the one-planer is bent over more and he's turning his shoulders steeper so that he can find the ground. Again, Jonathan here is hitting a driver, and he is much shorter than Matt, so his shoulder turn's going to be flatter. And he's also, with the ball teed up, that'll make the swing a little bit shallower, longer golf club as well. So, just wanted to cover a different vantage point of viewing swings as upright or flat, and why people view one plane as a flat swing. But if a one plane swing is flat, with the shoulders flat and the arms flat, that's when we're in trouble. If you're going to swing your arms around your body, you got to have something pointed down at the ground. So you got to be bent over. You got to have some shoulder angle in there. That's going to provide enough angle so that we can hit the ground. So part 2 will be coming shortly. That'll be more of an analysis on the things we worked on. But I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you.